See what you made.
All right, live and direct. Here we are. I got an all-star cast today doing the Boston recap on Serious and Silliness, YouTube and podcast. I got Jason Arntz, and I got the great Johnnie Jackson.
You know it.
That's right.
The gray beards are here tonight.
Yeah, the baldies,
the old timers.
Yeah, quite different than before, huh?
Yeah.
And before we get started, Jason and Johnny, tell them out there, whoever's watching, tell them, subscribe and like and share.
This is not easy. If you like what you hear, subscribe and to click and save and share. We got some good content. John has different varieties. He's like a reality TV star for bodybuilders, enthusiasts, and a whole different spectrum of different types of personalities.
Yeah, for sure. He's a lot of fun. I mean, he had Branch actually came on also.
That's
and
right.
This guy doesn't go on for anyone. It says a lot. So yeah, really enjoy his content and definitely share, like, you know what I mean, and follow. It doesn't get no better than this.
Thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it. Speaking of which, you know who I'm having on at the end of the month? I don't know if you guys know who she is, but I'm having Sarah J on. She's a porno chick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's been doing porn for like 20 years.
Gotta kid my kid out. I gotta kid my daughter on now.
Yeah.
Go upstairs.
Yeah. No. I won't talk. That's it. I won't talk about that anymore. But that should be.
Yeah, I was just ready to say, change the subject. Right along.
Well, that will be my second person in that industry that I'll be interviewing. So
you had someone before.
Yeah, Alexis Golden. I had Alexis Golden. She's another one who's doing it for years. But it's like, my friends at work are like, what are you going to ask her? What do you ask? I'm like, dude, you ask about behind the scenes, what happens in their life behind the scenes. You don't ask them.
For sure. You wonder, like, how do you live a normal life and doing that? You know?
Exactly. Like I'll ask him things like, how do I? Did you ever fall in love with a guy that you had to work with? Did you ever despise somebody you had to work with? Did you ever?
What was her answer to that?
The girl that I interviewed, I actually asked if she said she never. She was married the whole time, right? And she said she never fell in love with anybody. She never got emotionally involved. She said she never disliked anybody, but there were people that she would rather not work with.
Okay.
For like particular reasons. I asked her if there was any time that she had was like, okay, stop in the middle of it. I can't do this. Did you ever Yeah. And she said basically that she was doing a scene with her, another girl, and a guy, and she stopped it because the girl's hygiene was just out of control. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it was pretty good into it. Yeah. All right. Topic for another time.
All right, you want me to stay on this thing and let's move on.
Yeah. All right.
We'll circle back to that at a different time.
Yeah. All right. So this past weekend was the Boston Pro, and William Bonner took the win, as everybody would thought he would. So since Johnny, is the first time you're doing a recap, what'd you think? What'd you think of William Bonac this week, and as opposed to the Arnold Classic as well?
Well, I thought it was amazing that he kept his condition and he really looked amazing. I think, just like I said for the Arnold, I think the judges got it right for this show. And like I said, with William going back home to the Netherlands and then flying, from the Arnold to the Netherlands, then back to Boston to compete and look like he did. Wow. I mean, I even said earlier about William, like you could see a difference, when he was doing interviews, his Instagram posts, it was a little bit different. It looked like he had a chip on his shoulder, like he had when I first met him. He had a big chip on his shoulder, and he was still competing in 212 back then. We met at the British Grand Prix. And he really he then knew he had more. He can do more. Everything, and everything he said, it came to fruition. It happened. So I'm really proud of him for what he accomplished, and he's got a lot more to accomplish, as you can see, coming back in this condition, at the Arnold, and then moving on to the Boston Pro and winning that one. So good for him. I think he looked great. I think he deserved it. He could have saved the speech for a later time, but it is what it is. I'm sure he was feeling so much from the Arnold and getting second place and looking like he did, because he could have won the Arnold. I don't think anyone would have batted an eye, if he would have won the Arnold. So I'm sure, and like I said, you could see from his earlier posts, he was really gunning for it. But I thought myself that he has to show up 2 or 3 more times looking like he did at the Arnold before he get the respect of the judges again to give him that placing, just so we're comfortable with whatever Olympia champion or Arnold champion, they're going to show up in shape, and we're not going to wonder which one is going to show up, the guy in shape or the guy so-and-so.
Right.
So I think he's on the right path of showing that he's going to be consistent now with showing up at the show in the right condition.
Jay, he gave a lot of praise to Chad Nichols, his new coach. How much credit do you give a coach? Because it looked like he did turn things around for him.
Well, I mean, you got to give all the credit to him, because he's proven 2 shows in a row, excuse me, that he's right. He's dialing in. He's learning his body. He's fine tuning it. He's had something to prove, and he's definitely proving it. I think the Arnold, I don't know, dude. That was tough, man. I thought he could have.
I thought he should have won the Arnold.
I thought, nothing, not taken away from Brandon, but he was dry, dude. And he carried that condition, and stating that he went home and got on those long plane rides, and he's determined. He's got, like I said, he's got a chip on his shoulder, but he's walking the walk now. So he's letting the judges know and letting people know that he's a contender. He will be someone to reckon with come the Olympia later on this year. But I know Chad. I've worked with Chad before, and Chad's an old school guy. Johnny,
sure.
he's our time, man.
For sure.
He's our type of
no
generation.
Nonsense.
No bullshit, meat and potatoes type of guy, and he obviously has Williams' number dialed in for him, and it's a good mix. I mean, you can't. You can't.
And even besides the diet part or dialing in part, mentally, I think Chad is good for him, because of that nonsense, no nonsense attitude that he brings to the table to give William as well. He showed at the end where his emotions can get the best of him and stuff like that. So with a guy like Chad in this corner can really direct him in the right, headspace, when he really needs it.
Chad will keep him grounded. Chad will keep it simple. This is what you got to do. All the other stuff is just noise. Focus, dial in, and deliver. And he certainly delivered. He was, I think, not taken away from second and third, but he was ahead of these guys, man. He
was next level. There's no question.
For sure. And that just shows you the conditioning he had at the Arnold for it to move over into Boston after all the traveling as well.
And look, and all the other guys from the Arnold that carried this over, they all look better too.
Yeah.
So they all, I mean, Justin made leaps and bounds from his, not that he looked bad at the Arnold, but he looked a lot better in this showing. But William was on a different level, and it showed in his presence, it showed in his posing, and it certainly showed in his physique.
Yeah, he has like that 3D. First of all, he's flawless. I mean, he's flawless. He's a short guy, so you think short guys should be a little bit more compact, but he has a small waist and a great V-taper and flaring quads. And the guy has that 3D round muscle belly, like a Phil Heath almost, and it just pops. And he was chiseled to the bone, but he wasn't flat. He was really impressive.
He's
really
dense.
impressive.
He's dense in detail.
Yeah. Yep. Did you guys see Fuad did a podcast, and him and Guy Sistanino were talking about why they gave the win to Brandon over William at the Arnold Classic. And basically, Guy Sistanino said he spoke to Jim Mannion about it because everybody had William winning. And Jim Mannion said William had gyno that was noticeable. He said that his stomach was a little bit of protruding stomach, and Curry's flow was better. Now, I mean, I'll say it. I don't. This is just my opinion. I don't know, but I personally, I think the word came down from the big man because he likes, more aesthetically pleasing bodybuilders, and they gave Curry the nod. I mean, I might be wrong, because
you have to look at it also as these guys are like top in the world. They are the top in the world.
Yeah.
So you're really nitpicking and trying to find the smallest, the most minute thing on them that you can pick, to say the other guy is better. It's very hard to distinguish which one should win and which one shouldn't. Even though I agree with you guys, I thought William was a better man on stage at the Arnold, for sure. I thought Brandon aesthetics, took him a little further.
William's got good aesthetics too. It's not like
exactly.
It's not like William is
your eyes still go towards Brandon.
Yeah.
You look at the two, and your eyes still, seem to go towards Brandon because of that. He's a taller guy, so just being taller, you can see more. And like I said, I'm really nitpicking. There's very, very little, and it's hard to say, but it has to be said because we have to analyze it. That's what we do. So this is like really nitpicking on the guys, and I can see it. I can see where that came into play. Something had to come into play that separate the two. So I mean, Brandon consistently over the last 3 or 4 years has been coming in looking better and better each time.
The guy gets better every time. It's amazing how he's getting better with age. Like, he's almost 40 and he's still improving. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, and he's gotten bigger, didn't lose any of his aesthetics. That's what's amazing.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
the same body, just bigger. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. So, you can't help but to, go his way. And then, like I said, they start nitpicking, looking at these small things on William, and it was enough to,
Well, look, there can only be one winner, so they got to put somebody in second. But I'm pretty sure, I think the cards had a unanimous for Brandon, unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't like a 1-point win. From what I understand, I actually had it. I don't know if I still have it.
I didn't see the highs and lows that were dropped, but I think he had 3 first place votes.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was pretty. It was I think he won by like 7 points or something like that. It wasn't. Yeah,
that's surprising.
Yeah, it wasn't close. Surprising. It wasn't close. So in second place at the Boston Pro was Justin Rodriguez, and he really brought his A game because he had something to prove. Well, first I want to say how wrong I was for both bodybuilders. Me and Jay did a preview to the Arnold Classic, and I was counting Bonac out. I was basically saying that he just catching up to him.
Really?
Yeah, I was saying Jason didn't. But that being said, you guys.
I thought he was going to win.
Yeah. You had him. Yeah. I was saying that I kind of think he's fading, so on and so forth. So I had him in, what did I have him in, 4th place or something like that?
Yeah, you hadn't done well.
Yeah, and so I was wrong completely. And then Justin Rodriguez, I didn't even have him breaking the top 5, so which actually ended up to be wrong too. So I was just completely off, which is why I need you guys to come on here. Otherwise,
you can't really predict these things,
Otherwise, I would be a shit show.
That's funny.
So Justin Rodriguez came to prove that he is a top bodybuilder, which he did at the Boston Pro, because I don't know what happened at the Arnold, but in prejudging at the Arnold, he looked fantastic. And then the next day, he kind of really, I don't know what happened, but he fell in placings. But at Boston, his rear double by was amazing. So what do you think, Jay?
I thought he was spot on, that he was dry.
Yeah.
And it made his overall look more complete. He didn't really, there wasn't any weaknesses. I even said this to him, in the last podcast we did before the Arnold, that I thought his legs looked a little shallow when he dieted down, and it kind of distorted, his X frame, his X look, where everything was on, man. He nailed it right, and shape wise, symmetry wise, he did a great job.
What do you think, Johnny?
I think so. Also, I liked him at the Arnold as well. Like my eyes kept on, like I said about Brandon and William. It goes the same for Justin. I kept on looking at him. It was just an overwhelmingly different look for him. Mm-hmm. But I think the same, but better. You know what I mean? So it was like, wow. It was just a lot of wows when you look at him. I think one thing that was a little bit weird for me was his shoulders. And I think it's because he needs better rear delts. His rear delts are flat or missing. If he build those rear delts, his shoulders will look more rounded. They almost look like they fell off or they were square. He's got a great width, but then with that width, it almost looked like his shoulder was square. It was a little weird to me. Mm-hmm. But as I looked closer, I saw that his rear delts was weak. And if he bring those up, it'll round the shoulders off. And triceps. He got weak triceps as well. Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
And that'll round his arm off. And that'll make his shape look so much better from the front and will help. And I think
he's a little square than most muscular. He needs to pop a little more, just like what Johnny's saying.
Yep, absolutely.
Rear delt and tricep.
Yep, he get a little bit more rounded up top, and it'll be like, he can stand with those guys, no doubt. I still think he need to bring up his legs just a bit, and his midsection was a little bit. He needs to work on that a little bit because he had that X frame, but because his legs are huge, he got massive legs, but they still looked a little shallow compared to his upper body.
His upper body is insane. It's
I don't know if it was the waist or the stomach a little bit that could have came down a little bit. Maybe he ate up and was a little full. You know what I mean? And need to flatten that out a little bit before the stage, and that will help tremendously with the legs, balancing out with the upper body. But overall, like I said, looking at him, it was a lot of wows.
Yeah. I got, to his credit, over the last, I would say 3 to 4 years, he's made tremendous gains. Every year he gets better.
Oh my God, yeah.
He really does. His legs have come up. The only thing that I really, he doesn't have that, like when William Bonac does that rear double by.
He's got the wow factor, which he needs.
Yeah, he doesn't have the striations in his glutes and hamstrings like William Bonac does. He kind of.
I have to say that's a good point. And he certain poses, he had good separation in his quads. If he hit his legs or move his legs a certain way, you could see good separation. And then other shots, there were none. You know what I mean? So it was on and off. He's got to figure that out and get a little bit better separation, front and the rear.
Now, in third place, we had Steve Kuklow, and I'm a big Steve Kuklow fan, but I don't know. Yeah, I did a live feed with Ian Haydek, who has another a bodybuilding podcast, and he said he was speaking to a pro bodybuilder, and they refer to him as Steve Almost, because he could never get that, that Arnold Classic win or that, that big win. What's holding him back? What do you guys think? Jay, what do you think?
See, everything's there for him. But that's a pretty good analogy, a little more fine tuning. He's got the size. He's a taller guy, and he is still dense and holds a lot of muscle with his frame. So it's not like he doesn't look like he needs to put on or pack on any more muscle for his frame. He just needs to pop a little more, bring it down a little bit, a little drier, a little harder, and just that fine tuning where it could show that a good mature muscle look, like a hardened. It's a harden up. William had that pop. He had that, that wow factor. Steve could possibly have that. He's just got to fine tune it learn his body a little bit better. But everything's there for him. It's a matter of he dials it in right.
What do you think, Johnny? What's holding him back?
I'm so proud of my man Steve. I really am. I think he looked awesome. Just from last year and the years past, what Jason described was what he was. He actually dialed it in a lot this year, and at the Arnold it started, and I was like, wow. And I'm so happy for him for his placing at the Arnold. Also, I said he needs to come down, between 5 and 10 pounds, and because Steve's a big dude. Period. He would be if he never lifted a weight in his life. I think Steve would just be a big dude. With saying that, his presence, he's got enough for it. That presence on stage with anyone. But like I said, he came down a little bit, and I think they're figuring his body out right now. Yeah. Like, it's not perfect. It wasn't perfect, but if you look at him from past to this year, it's like, wow, that's exactly what we've been waiting for, and he's headed in the right direction. And if he figured out, like you said, Jason, dry out a little bit more, get a little bit better separation.
Yeah, it's all there for him.
In his lower extremities, his legs, he need to figure out to get a lot better separation. At least in his quads. Hamstrings not so bad. Calves are incredible. With everything he has, like you said, Jason, he has everything. And I'm really proud of him and the strides that he made into this year. And I think he's just going to get better. If he keeps going with this concept that he's going with, they will figure it out. And I think he will be challenging, up in the top 3 at the Olympia, or top 5 at least. Maybe not top 3, but top 5 for sure.
He has a very big frame. You guys don't think he needs to put any more muscle on?
Well, the thing is, it's conditioning. It's conditioning. That's what's been suffering over the last, past few years. And this year, he almost dialed it right in. I think it was a little flat. I think his conditioning was really good. But then now he's got to figure out the eating and the timing with his eating to really fill out so he can pop, so he can have that 3D look. He has the size, all that. Like I said, he brought the conditioning in. You just need to figure out, the eat up and the carb up all the way, and get the timing just right. So when you step on stage, you got that 3-dimensional look. And if he brings that with that frame, he'll do great. So I think they're really figuring it out now.
And so in full,
you had him last week compared to a Brandon Curry. You had him with William this week. And the only one missing is Rami. So size-wise, I don't think size is really the issue.
Just describing that, Jason, if he was with a lineup with, these guys' aesthetics are just the best in the world. Yeah. You know what I mean? So his body had to challenge that as well. I think if he had a group that didn't have those great aesthetics like those guys, he would have fared better. And, you know what I mean? Definitely would have placed better as well.
Yeah. But with him, like, step by step, he's going in the right direction. He's got a little more to do. And look, also, the drier you look and maintaining your muscle, you'll look bigger on stage.
Yes.
So he has that working in his favor also. It's just a matter of, like you said, learning his body. And this is we're nitpicking here with little tweaks that make a huge difference. We'll get into that when we go down the lines. I have something to comment about Reagan. We'll get to him in a minute. But little tweaks here and there that just make such a huge difference. It's a matter of just learning your body.
Does he still work with? He works with Gina Davis, right? I think that's.
I'm not sure who he works with.
Yeah, not the actress, but the
right. And I'm not sure as well.
I don't know if he still works with her, but I'm pretty sure I might be wrong. But so in 4th place, this guy. I love this guy. I love Samson Dowda. I'm such a fan of his. As a bodybuilder, this guy, I'm telling you, again, I have the least amount of experience out of this entire panel, but you put another 5, 7, 8 pounds on this guy. He's a fucking Arnold Classic winner.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Agreed.
I totally agree with you. He has to just because this is what we do and this is what we're here for. he has to work on his back. I mean, he bring his back up. You got to know this, and it will be damn near lights out. Like you said, John, put about 10 pounds on a guy with his shape and, symmetry, probably, between 5 and 10 pounds, probably look, huge on him, and bring his back up. Oh my God, this guy would definitely be a contender in any show.
Yeah. He reminds me of a 2012 Sean Roden, when everybody was saying, if he could just, bring his back up, if he could just put some more, he could be Mr. Olympia. And he obviously did. That's what he reminds you of. What do you think, Jay?
I mean, I agree. Everything's there for him too. He needs a little more maturity, a little more time under tension, bringing up the upper back thickness. He's got good detail. Separation is great everywhere. Everything flows. So he's a lot of these guys do. They have a lot of good things in their favor. It's what they can do in this off season to pack on a few extra pounds in the right area, keep their conditioning, keep their fine tuning, and just make a little bit of a difference each show, and he'll climb up that ladder. But he could be deadly, dude. He could be deadly.
Yeah, he's dangerous. You put another 5-7 pounds on, he's fucking dangerous.
Yeah, he's got to really, on his off season, look at his negatives, or his weaknesses, and work on them. Period. Because his strengths will continue to be his strengths and get better, whether he directly train them or not. You should
do some back with him, Johnny.
Yeah, right.
You should do some.
And we don't want him to quit. We want him to compete. I'm kidding.
So this was a surprise. Number 5 was Max Charles, and he wasn't really in shape at the Arnold. And then a week later, boom. I mean, it was just, you guys know better than me. I don't know what the difference was in a week, but it was tremendous.
I think it was timing.
Yeah.
Because there's no way he can, in a week, come looking like that, in a week time, unless his timing was off at the Arnold. Something must have been going on. Maybe I don't know. Who knows? Something personal, maybe not. I don't know. But there was something that threw his timing off. And he had time to.
Maybe you wanted to peak for the Boston Pro instead of the Arnold. Who knows?
Maybe so.
I don't think that's what happened, but sometimes it's a matter of their. Excuse me. Your body's a tricky thing, man. Sometimes it doesn't cooperate the way we talked about it last time. And getting your body to do this pretty much on command, because you're asking your body to do this on a Friday night at this time or a Saturday morning at this time. And you could weigh everything and throw everything at it and try to put everything in perspective, for it to come out that way. But if your body doesn't agree with you or it doesn't cooperate, you're in trouble.
Yep.
So, but who knows? It could have been something personal. It could have been, maybe he just didn't time certain things. Sometimes things need to leave your body, a week longer before you get a water retention buildup from it.
Right.
Something as simple as that.
Sometimes you can't go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And you start holding stuff and you're like, wow, you get stressed out. So you start holding more. And then you're like, wow, like 16 weeks of dieting out the window because of these last few hours.
Your body's like a roller coaster, man. Once you start going up that hill, it's a tough battle. But once you go over that slope, and maybe the Arnold was that slope for him, and everything just started moving and going in the right direction. So I'm not sure what the reasoning is, but huge difference. It showed. He's got to learn to time that a little better. That's it for the Arnold.
Yeah, he was absolutely amazing. His upper body was amazing. His legs aren't as, but his legs were separated. So it kind of gave that illusion that, it was pretty good. So in 6th place, this guy from the back is lights out. Phil Klahar. It's odd because usually most guys from the front, in the front, his structure's a little off. And then from the back, it's like this Mr. Olympia back, right? But he comes in 6th place. He was the guy that had that. I think what was it? It was in Texas or Tampa. I think it was Tampa, where he took a very, very controversial 2nd place to Ian. And people thought he should have won. But what do you guys think? Like, I don't know if there's anything he could do from his structure from the front, but from the back, he's fucking amazing. What do you think, Johnny?
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know him as well. So I just think it's just a matter of time, and you know what I mean, just seeing what works for him and make some changes on his off season of training. I don't know if he power lifts because you know what I mean. That may be. I don't know what his background is. You know where he came from, what he done before, what sports. Sometimes some sports don't transfer into bodybuilding. You know, so it just depends on what he's done before and created his body, what he can do now to figure out, get a coach that can help him figure out how to, you know, like someone like Charles Glass or something like that, that can maybe help him construct, you know, himself a little bit better. Because like you said, from the rear, I mean, usually you win. What was that old saying? Remember, Jason, coming up, you always win from the back, you know? So, yeah, you got to have a good front too. You know, that's you know, not just that. You got to be.
I think that term came because at that level, everybody's good from the front, right? Everybody's good from the front. Where with him, it's a little different. So but that was my constructive criticism. Also, was he's got to go back to the drawing board and he's got to fix some training that's going to be engineered to help him perfect some of these poses from the front and the side, because from the rear he's on, you know, but there's some stuff missing where he's getting beat, you know, in the other poses. He's getting beat by these other guys. And there's a little bit of distance there, you know, between him and the other guys.
Oh yeah.
You know, so he's got some work to do.
Yeah, for sure. It's just now, I mean, he's got the time now that he's got his feet wet. He's got in the mix, you know, with these guys, you know, start getting into these guys, you know, minds and asking questions, trying to figure out what's best suit for him, you know, and like Jason said, like kind of go back to the drawing board a little bit and go from there. Because, you know, as a, you know, novice competitor going through those ranks, you can get away with a lot. You know, I've seen a lot of guys get through the ranks that really shouldn't have got through, you know, as fast as they did. And sometimes just showing that up at the right show at the right time, and there you go. So I'm not sure where he turned pro or what was in his lineup. You know what I mean? For not to be the highlight for him before he, you know, go into these pro shows.
He needs to be a little more complete. He needs to complete his package. He's got some work to do. I'm not sure how old he is. I'm thinking he's mid-30s, but I'm not sure.
Let me see. I'm not 100%. I think he's up there, though. I don't think he's a very young guy, to be honest with you. I think he might be older than that. But let me see. Phil Klahar. I actually just looked him up because, you know, all the other podcasts were just going through 1 through 5, and I wanted to see what. There we go. He is 43.
So wow. Time's not on his side, unfortunately.
Yeah. And he's 6 foot. And he's 6 foot.
I mean, I can't complain. I wish I was 43 right now. I mean,
me too.
That sounds really great. Great to me.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just enjoy what you can while you can. You know,
I mean, right, exactly.
Stranger things has happened.
The Charles
you
Glass
never know until you try. You know.
Yeah, the Charles Glass suggestion was that's spot on. I didn't even think of that. That's right. If anybody could do it, it's him, you know, that could help him. So, and then I'm not going to say this kid is a disappointment because I just think he's too young and the bar was held too high for him. But Reagan Grimes came in 7th. He was pretty soft. He was holding.
I'm pulling for him, man. I
you know what? My opinion is I just think it's stress. I think people, you know, when people are talking about him being the next Mr. Olympia, and he's only 28 years old, you know.
He's got tremendous potential and a great look. He's a good-looking guy. He represents the sport well, you know, just in terms of helping bring people to sell tickets, right? Yeah. If you look at it from a business point of view, the kid could sell tickets. Okay. The problem now, he's working with Milos, which I thought was a step in a good direction. I thought at the Arnold he was going to make a much better showing than he did. But it seems to be the same pattern with him, and it is a little disappointing when you want more for this guy. It's not that I don't know if it's necessarily his fault, But now it's the same thing. He's sucking down too much, and I think Milos tried to fill him out and overcompensate for this show, and now he's just holding a ton of water, you know. And it was still hard, but he was holding water. So there's three things going on. Either he's just lacking that maturity, that mature muscle that it's hard to hold on to when he's sucking down, which will come in time. Or two, his body's just not responding to what he's doing, which I don't know if that's the case, because it seems to be happening time and time again with different coaches. Or he's fucking around on his diet, you know. And I hate to say that, I really hate to say that, because guys like us, John, from our generation, dude, we don't fuck around. This man. Was, everything from the second we wake up to the second we go to bed is calculated. So I would hope to think it's not that, but you have to at least consider that maybe he's not listening to everything that's going his way. Because I thought Milos would have him, and I'm just thinking maybe his body's just not mature enough yet.
What do you think, Johnny?
Well, I think, he need to forget about all the prettiness. You know what I mean? Okay. All the smiling and, all that kind of crap. You need to go out the window. He need to get grimy and gritty. Yeah. You know what I mean? To get his shit dirty and, start working out. I think I'm not going to say he's not taking it serious, but it's starting to sort of look that way. To where it's like, I'm pretty, I'm a model, I can get away with it. You know what I mean? People are gonna, how you say, get drawn towards me anyway because of my personality and
he's a huge following. Like that is true. That is true.
So you need to drop all that bullshit, get off of social media, stop posting, and get in the fucking gym and go to work. You know what I mean? And grind. Milos is a great trainer. I worked on the Milos. We won a couple shows. Myself and Milos, so I know what he does, and that shit's fucking hard. It's not easy, so I really don't know why this is coming about, except I don't know, you got to change. Something's got to change. And like I said, Milos is a great coach, but he like to promote also. Milos loves social media, loves to talk, loves to hear himself talk. Want you to love to hear him talk. And so it promotes the shit out of his competitors, which is great. But some people can't handle it. You know what I mean? Or not the point that you can't handle it, but you go, absorb too much of it or start drinking the Kool-Aid and not really grinding as hard as you would if you didn't focus on all that shit in the first place, So
you don't think
I think
sorry,
he's trained hard under Milos. They showed their training. I saw their videos.
You can't help but to. Milos' training is out of sight.
So I'd like to think he's putting the work in, right? I mean, I'd like to believe.
Well, maybe it's not that. Maybe the training. Maybe he needs a different type of training.
Well, that was pretty much my point. Is I don't know if it's the training that's the problem. It might just be his body when he's sucking down. He's not mature enough to hold on to the muscle. It's not hard earned yet, or he's.
Definitely you can tell the size different that all the size he put on. It's definitely new muscle. So to get that in condition and get that grainy hard, you can get it in condition, not grainy hard. That branch line, grainy hard, veiny look is really hard to achieve. When you gain. Several pounds over a couple months, so
you don't think you guys don't think stress has anything to do with it, or am I giving him the benefit of the doubt?
Johnny, sorry, it's John. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay?
Oh, all right, good.
I fucking hate that excuse.
Okay, all right.
Look, let me break it down.
Okay,
we're all fucking stressed. We are all stressed every day, 24 hours a day, from the second we wake up to the second we go. That's not a factor. We have to learn to deal with that. You know what I mean? If you can't learn to get in shape and it's not just that. They're stressing everything we do. But to blame that,
if you are stressed, like I said, get off of social media. Stop posting every damn thing. If you can't take the judgment, or if the judgment stresses you out, or, keeping up with it, stressing you out and keeping you from looking the way you're supposed to at it. Get the hell away from it. You know what I mean?
For somebody to say he's not in shape because of stress, come on.
All right.
That's somebody who they don't know how to dial you in. Oh, you're stressed out. You put on water.
I couldn't even measure the stress of getting to the gym, getting ready to walk in to work out. If stress killed you or made a difference in your physique, then I would be like
dead.
A ball of water. Getting to the Metroflex gym, waiting for Branch Warren to get there to work out. You know how much fucking... I gotta watch my mouth. You know how much stress that is?
Yeah.
I guess I said curse words throughout. My wife probably in the back going, "No, wait till he's done." I'm going to tell him about that. But anyway, it is.
I'll give you two stressful conditions. My last Olympia, okay? I'm sorry, my first Olympia. My wife was pregnant. She was about to deliver. She actually delivered on my flight home, so she was in labor when I was on stage. I get vertigo while I was out at the Olympia. I had food poisoning, and I had an inner ear infection. I was throwing up every 5 minutes. Everything was spinning. I was still able to take fourth place at the Olympia. On another note, earlier in my career, I went through a couple indictments, some state charges, went through a divorce, a bankruptcy, and everything else, and still competing. So you learn to deal with this stuff.
Sorry, Regan. You're just
dress.
I tried. Now
I'm pulling for him though, dude.
Oh yeah, I think he'll get it. I think it's just a matter of time, like him figuring everything out. After Regan, I don't know. It was Nathan Spear who came in 8th, but I really didn't take a good look at these guys. Did you guys do Nathan Spear and Doug?
Well, I'm friends with Nathan. I've met him a few times. He's a great guy, so I was pulling for him also. He's got some work to do too. Look, this is his first pro show.
Oh,
but dude, he made some great progress from his pro card win, at the Nationals. So I thought he did a great job. He was a little bit outclassed with some of these guys. I mean, these guys are, top Arnold, top Olympia guys. But
yeah,
I thought he made a great showing. Brought a good package, brought up some weaknesses from the Nationals, and stood his ground. So I'm proud of Nate.
So let's say 9 was Doug Fruki, 10 was Islam Mohammed, and 11 was Justin Mackey. I mean, I took a quick look at the guys, but I really didn't get in deep.
Yeah, I honestly didn't look at them. I'm actually sitting here sweating. I was going to curse again. I'm getting text over from my wife in the room going, "You're exactly right." The cussing, anyway. Thanks, John. I appreciate it.
Sorry. All right, I won't curse anymore. I won't curse. So when is the next show? I don't even know what the next show is. We got the Indy Pro. They got the Arnold Brazil, but I don't even know. I don't know when these next shows are.
Chicago coming up and New York's in May, right?
Well, New York's in May. Yeah, that one I'll be.
That's always. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
A barn burner. Can't wait to see who's going to be in New York this year.
You know who I'm looking forward to seeing? William Martins, that other Brazilian bodybuilder, because he's massive. I actually interviewed him. He only turned pro like 2 years ago, and I think he did 2 pro shows. He's this massive man. I think he's like 270 or 280. He's like 5'11", and he comes in chiseled hard as well. I'm like, I'm hoping that he does well because he looks impressive.
You know what I have to mention? And I'm. Oh my! See, 51. The old age get to you. I can't remember the kid name. I talked to him at the Arnold. He just turned pro. He won the Nationals.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh God,
I got to mention him because what a sweet kid. I talked to him, a few years ago at the Arnold. Him and his dad, and gave him little words of wisdom, if like Johnny does. And he just talked about it and appreciated it and went over it with me at the Arnold because I really don't remember, like I said, old age. But I remembered him, and I remember seeing him turn pro. And I think, if you think of his name, I can't think of his name right now, but I wish him all the best of luck.
Massive arms, tremendous arms.
Really nice kid.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot.
Quads also. His legs are stupid.
Yeah. What the hell is
also?
Oh, you're gonna drive me crazy now. What is his name? Because he was on everybody's radar this year to win actually, and he did. 2021.
really young also. I think he's 23, 22, 23, something like that also.
Yeah, he's not.
But his dad came to the All Max booth and we talked for a bit and he pointed him out and I was like, oh my God. And I walked over and talked to him for a while and it was a good visit. But man,
he's going to be really good. Carlos Thomas.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
He's going to be really good.
He was a little soft, right?
Little, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just getting more mature.
But dude, holy shit. Yeah.
Oh, this guy's
my thing was he didn't change his off season. His body or mass stayed the same. He just got in shape.
Yeah.
Nothing. He didn't get small at all. I was like, wow. And so if he get the right coach, I don't know if he's working with anyone, but if you get the right coach to dial that in and he's able to keep all that mass, he's going to be another Nick Walker type, go into a big show, you know what I mean, in the right condition and smash it.
I think Nick basically, a guy like Nick comes around once in a generation where you go from being amateur to shooting all the way to the top. And I think we kind of expect the same thing with, Brett Wilkin and Reagan Grimes and so on and so forth. And that's just not the case. It takes a long time for these guys.
Yeah. Nick had this. I know Nick competed in that 2020 Arnold Classic that I did, the last Arnold that I did, and he didn't come in the shape that he came in these past shows or the Arnold he won. He was pretty soft at that show because, I remember him and I remember seeing him backstage and I remember him winning his pro card. And I was like, man, it's going to be good to see this new kid. He's massive. But I wasn't impressed with his conditioning at all. And without the conditioning, his shape is really off. So, but he dialed it in after that show. He dialed it in and man, as long as he come in like that. But I have to say, I don't think it would have been as successful if he had the same lineup that was this past Arnold.
Yeah, it's a possibility. Yeah, because last year, Brandon wasn't there, Bonac wasn't there, Steve was there, Ian was there. Yeah, it was Nick. Ian came in second. Steve was third. I think was it Justin Rodriguez was fourth.
He was in. Rodriguez was in there, and
I don't know.
Justin's other twin, smaller twin.
Who are we talking about?
No, I'm just saying the difference between Justin then and Justin now.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, he seems like a really nice guy. He goes to Signature Fitness by me in Jersey, and I had a conversation with him. Real nice dude, very cordial, and when I see a pro bodybuilder working out, and I kind of right away I kind of want to get them on my podcast and stuff, but I don't want to interrupt them,
Right.
So, but I try to pick my spot when I could go talk to them. Like, okay, he's in between sets, and then I just go, And but really nice dude. And I was like,
seems like it.
Yeah,
I never had a conversation with him, but just see him from the far and talking to different people, it seemed like it.
Yeah, Akeem Williams, I talk to all the time at the gym. He's like the nicest person in the world.
Yeah, Akeem. I had him for third until he X'd out of the Arnold. I had him for my third place. Finisher. I had Brandon William or William Brandon. I said that could go either way. And then Akeem for my third finisher because he's been improving big time.
Yeah, Akeem comes in shape, and he's another one. He's fucking dangerous, man.
Jesus,
so much muscle.
So much muscle. Yeah, you see my face, you just get ugly.
Yeah,
so much muscle.
Somebody's
big when your face get like that.
Yeah, he's massive human being, and he was working with Oscar for a while. Oscar Arden. I don't know. Right. Yep. I don't know if he's still working with him, but I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't
know who he's working with anymore, but I don't know.
They were working together at that Arnold I'm speaking about. They were together, and I talked to them backstage, and
wasn't Sergio?
I told him that was that first time he came in that type of shape, and I told him, I said, Akeem, I always thought if you came in shape that you were so dangerous, and then Oscar said the only thing he needs to do is bring down those lats, and they said, we need to go out to Texas and train with you for a while. Yeah, and I was like, whenever you're ready, but he's incredible.
But yeah, Jay, Sergio Oliva Jr. was in last year's Olympia. Was in last year's honor.
Last year's Arntz. He was in that lineup. I'm not sure where he placed, but
I think he came in like I want to say 6th because he won the best posing.
Yes, he did.
Right.
Yeah. That's this year they gave best posing and they gave most muscular to both William and Brandon. Was that just to piss off everybody else? Like, oh, you didn't win enough money. Here's some extra.
I know, but William should have got most muscular.
Yeah, They deserve that.
Who else is going to get most muscular?
Yeah, I know. Let's see. Ask Johnny if he will be training with Big Lenny. I don't think so. Big Lenny. This is the two. Big Lenny's this really this character that's always on RX Muscle. Dave always has him on. He's a strange bird.
Oh, yeah. We won't get along then.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be working out with him.
Yeah, no.
He's into like all kinds of crazy shit. But Dave has him on because he's a character. You know, he's a screwball. But
entertainment.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's one thing that it's hard to get that balance. I either have a show where I have all nut jobs or everybody's sane. You know, I don't have like that kind of balance. You know, like Fuad has that balance where he's got Nick and Guy and they're screwballs, and then and then you got Fuad, and then who else does he have on? Oh, Ian. You know, where they're like kind of like balanced. Because I do this thing called Guy Talk like about once a month, and I just have my friends and we just talk about anything, like, you know, and we did one Friday night. But the thing is, we make rules, and the rules are you have to drink while you're doing Guy Talk.
Oh, wow.
And but 20 minutes in, we're all loaded. And then I have one friend that's drunk before we even get started, you know, and I'm trying to build my podcast. And, you know, we were talking about growing up in New York City and what games you played as a kid, you know, like Generation X, like, you know, Red Rover and Manhunt and Red Light, Green Light.
Spin the pickle.
Spin the pickle, is that what? and this guy from Australia comes up and says he used to play hopscotch. So of course, my friend, everybody like questioned his sexuality after that because he had to play hopscotch, you know. And it was just you know. And I'm keeping it really clean. I'm keeping it really.
Well,
clean.
I had 5 sisters, so
you had to play hopscotch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wish you can get up close to see. Where am I? There I go. This scar right here, I got from one of my sisters.
Really?
Oh my God, man. I was messing around with her. She was in the kitchen. She got tired of it, came out of the kitchen. My mom loved all the little ceramic cats and stuff like that sitting around. She grabbed the biggest one she could find and smashed it over my forehead.
Oh.
And I got the mark to prove it.
Do you ever bring it up to her?
That's when I was about 7 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. How old was she?
Oh, right now or
no? Back then.
Oh, back then. Yeah, she was Shirley, so she was 14.
Yeah. So she beat up you with a ceramic.
Oh yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah,
beat up each other.
Yeah, with mom's ceramic cats.
Well, mom would beat all of us up. We would beat each other up. Then mom would come in and just beat all our asses.
Yeah. Did you ever see that? Did you ever see that clip where the kid is talking to his mother? Because my mom's from.
Yeah, the father jumps at him.
No. This is they're having a conversation. It was like on a talk show, and the kid slaps the mom because the mom keeps like just the kid's like 10 or 12 years old, and he just and I'm just waiting for this woman to just like tear him apart, like just and nothing. She's just sitting there, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's the problem with kids today.
Oh my God, dude. My mother was from South Brooklyn, Red Hook, right? And she was like, my father didn't even have to discipline me. Like my mother was, you know, it was unbelievable. Like, my father's job was to stop my mother from killing me.
He was a mediator.
It was unbelievable. You know, I don't know. Yeah, it's unreal. Anyway.
Yeah, definitely a different day. We just knew better. You know, we grew up with the whole thing that kids are seen, not heard.
Right.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You know, and you definitely not heard unless you're talked to. If you're not talked to, then you better keep it quiet, you know?
Yeah, it was a different, everything is upside down now, man. Like, I don't get
kids run everything.
But not even that. Like, did you hear about the Cain Velasquez incident?
What's up with that? Yeah, well, I heard a little bit, but
I don't disagree with what he did.
Me neither. No, I don't think anybody does.
But he shot the wrong guy, apparently.
He did. He shot his. All right. So you know who Cain Velasquez is, right?
Of course.
All right. So for anybody who doesn't know, MMA fighter, former heavyweight champion. Say he has a 4-year-old son, sends his son to preschool. Not preschool, daycare. I'm sorry. Daycare. And it's like a lot of daycares are operated out of a house, and it's a couple that owns it. At the same time, the couple, the mother's son, it's the stepfather, the mother's son lives there, but he's like in his 40s, right? And he has a previous record, but he lives in the house with the daycare, right? So anyway, turns out
guy with a record lives in the daycare.
Yeah, no, it gets worse.
Where they run a daycare.
It gets real
it's starting
worse.
out really good already.
Yeah, it's bad. So anyway, turns out the guy's a pedophile, and
guy with a record.
Touched his son a couple times.
What else would he be?
Touched the son a couple of times, and other kids in the daycare
yeah, he's
too.
dead.
So yeah, exactly. So they arrest him. Okay, so somebody actually did the right thing, quote unquote, and they arrest him. This is in California. They arrest him.
But release him.
They release him. Like I don't know if it's the same day or the next.
I thought it was the same day.
I think it's the same day.
I heard it was
no bail. They release him. They tell him he's got to wear an ankle bracelet and he can't leave the house. Right? I swear to God, I'm not kidding. So
What?
Yeah, I swear to God. So Cain Velasquez just snaps and he gets in his truck with his Glock and he goes to the house to find him. Well, he doesn't find him at the house. They're driving. And it's him and his parents, or his stepfather and his mother, and they're actually driving to get the ankle bracelet put on, right? And this guy is chasing him down. He speeds up. He's right next to him, and he starts shooting out the window. Boom, boom, trying to kill him. And he doesn't hit him. He hits the stepfather. He shoots the stepfather.
It's the driver.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
He hits him in the arm and in the back. It doesn't kill him, but he was in the hospital. Anyway, Cain Velasquez gets arrested.
Cain's held no bail now.
Now he's in prison with no bail.
No bail.
They won't let him out.
Sounds like temporary insanity to me.
Oh,
so I'm assuming that's the plea.
So this guy touches kids.
Yeah.
Get let out of jail.
Yeah.
The same day.
Right.
Cain goes over,
shoots at him and get put in a prison and won't get let out.
Right.
Well, I think the man, he shot the wrong guy. You know, if he would have hit the suspect, who knows where this would be right now. But I don't know a jury in the world that's going to convict him, even at that, even of shooting the wrong guy.
I understand he's got a fantastic lawyer. His lawyer, I wrote it down because I had to do a whole podcast on it. Mark Gregoros. Apparently, he defended Michael Jackson. He defended Puff Daddy, Nate Dogg. Like he's a high-profile, really expensive lawyer. And I think the guy's GoFundMe, Cain Velasquez's GoFundMe, was over $1 million because everybody was.
Wow. Like, what else would you do?
But I mean, seriously.
Unfortunately, there was somebody else, but I mean.
But they're not. And here's the best part. The guy didn't deny it when he was questioned by the police. The guy didn't say, I don't know what this kid's talking about. The guy said, oh, I help him fix his pants.
So since he was honest, they let him go.
I don't know. They goes, I help him fix his pants.
But this was in California, right?
In California, yeah.
So you would think in a state like California.
California's very left wing, dude.
But this should not go unpunished. And he was basically just released.
Slap on the wrist.
And
that's crazy.
My understanding, in certain cases, you don't leave without the ankle bracelet. You sit there until they put it on you.
Right.
Yeah. You
could
would
run.
think so. Yeah.
Because you could run.
Yeah, right. You would think so.
None of it makes sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. And the judge said she's not releasing Cain because he's a detriment to society because he was But I mean, he's really only.
I'm sure I would go home and look at my kid and go do the same thing. I just tried.
I don't know any guy that wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know any guy with a background.
I would probably tell him, you better keep me locked up because
I'm
going to go kill his mom, his dad. You know, he's gonna come to me because I'm gonna kill everybody he knows until he does.
Right.
Seriously.
The only thing that surprises me is I don't know why Kane went after him with a gun. I would want my bare hands on this guy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I would wait for him to walk outside.
Joe Rogan was saying the same thing, but I personally, I think he just made the decision. I'm going to kill him. Like
he just lost it.
He just, I'm going to kill. Like there was once he grabbed his gun, he made his decision. Like I'm killing him. Like I don't, he doesn't deserve to live. But yeah, a lot of people.
That's a good point that most people don't think about. If you grab something like that, you better be ready to use it. Not just grab it to intimidate.
Yeah, no, I think he was. I don't think there was a doubt.
Well, he shot the wrong guy. He was ready to use it. He was certainly. He certainly proved he wanted to use it.
The parents really aren't innocent, though. I mean, they got this son he's in his 40s. He lives in the house with them. He has prior records. He's in the daycare with them.
No cameras?
I don't know.
Was he registered as a sex offender?
I don't know either, to be honest.
Because there's no way he could live there. There was no way he could live there.
I know.
If he was registered as a sex offender.
I really don't know. I don't know those details. But
the parents probably should go to prison as well.
Absolutely.
Because if they didn't register their house as a daycare and then have their son who is, a sex offender not registered, and let him. I mean, they set it all up.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a recipe for disaster. So when I heard if I heard the stepfather got shot, I really wasn't. I was like,
yeah. Well, he almost participated in it.
I'm over it. I'm over it already.
I didn't even.
I feel better already. I'm good.
One second. Yeah,
I'm all right. I didn't lose. I slept good that night.
Yeah,
I didn't lose any sleep at all.
Yeah, no.
I was hoping he would have shot the mother too.
I would listen. I'm not.
At least knock her out.
I ain't mad at him at all. Nothing. Zero. Yeah. I hope he gets off. Like you said, I hope there's not a jury in the world that'll convict him. And just
because if they think about it, I would be like, wait a minute, this was this guy's house that this guy was staying in, and he knew there's so many wrongdoings, and they had it as a daycare.
Yeah,
he deserved to get shot also.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing: somebody's got to go to prison because if both of them are out. Yeah, he's gonna kill him. I mean,
Well, this will unravel, and derail, and we'll see. They're gonna find out if this place was licensed, if it was registered,
right? For sure.
All this will come out, So we'll find out. Unfortunately, it'll probably stretch out a year or two before we hear anything.
I remember I remember when my daughter was going to kindergarten or preschool. It was preschool, and the preschool principal. I was watching the news, and I watched this guy get arrested at the school because he had touched students.
Oh my God!
I remember going through the line and him standing outside directing traffic, and I had to escalate at the time, and he was like, "Oh man, I remember talking to the guy. And I was like, just seeing that on the news, I was like, oh, if I find out, what I mean?
Right. I don't even have kids, but I can't even imagine,
So when I was in middle school, right, we had our music teacher. We show up to school one day, all fenced off, all taped off. Police are there, FBI's there. Our music teacher had sexually molested one of the special ed kids.
My God, dude! This?
Hold on. It gets better.
Jesus.
I got called in and questioned because I had made complaints that he had tried things. Well, he didn't touch me, but he had made gestures to me. He made statements to me, and pulled me out of class to come visit in his class.
Wow.
So I had to go down to FBI headquarters and write a statement about this guy. And it just turned out it was a couple other kids he was kind of pushing to try something with.
This is far too common, man, because Nick Walker said on Fuad's podcast, he went through this too. And the guy's in prison now, but he went through the same thing when he was a kid, so on and so forth. It's just far too common, man. And
this happens every day. And unfortunately, this is just the stuff we hear about.
Yeah.
Right.
And
exactly.
The recidivism rate of them doing it again is like in the high 90s. Like this is.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time.
It's not like, they're able to be rehabilitated. You know what I mean? It's like, there's a big difference between,
it can be suppressed
yeah,
for a while.
yeah.
But something triggers,
There's a big difference between, you're desperate and you rob a store or you're selling drugs or, whatever, whatever the case may be. And then that's no, dude, like that's not.
Well, these are, you're talking, these are crimes with victims. There's a difference between selling drugs. Hey, I wasn't always a supplement salesman or someone. So, times are tough, but, but I don't have to look over my shoulder.
Right.
And I've done my time and moved on and made good. But like we said, this happens every day, and a vast majority of it goes with unspoken. People don't talk about it. It's not reported. So hopefully this brings light to some of these daycares and some of the parents might be a little more conscious of where they're putting. Make sure
the key.
Make sure they should have cameras. There should be accountability for your kid. Every second they're in that building, every second you pick them up. My kids in daycare, and I knew they were in a good place. But even being in a good place,
because everybody has iPhones as well, and you can put trackers and all that kind of stuff to know where your kid is.
Right.
If that's necessary. So
yeah, you would think. Yeah, you would think it would be safer, but my God, it was just unbelievable. But all right, gentlemen.
Did we all see Batman? Did we all see the Batman?
No, I didn't. I heard it's
dude.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it either yet.
Oh my God.
I know. It's just
I want to go see it again.
It's 3 hours long though. Dude.
I don't have time.
Wow. Is it worth 3 hours?
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Well, it's longer than 3 hours because you got to get through all the trailers at the beginning.
No, it's about 3 hours with all the trailers.
I want to see it because the guy who plays the Riddler, I love Paul Dano.
Dude, he's amazing.
Paul Dano is like
they're all good.
Yeah.
They're all good in it. Everybody's good.
Yeah, and then everybody's telling me it's great, so I got to see it.
It's
but
dark.
I don't
dark.
Is it dark like you're in the cave the whole time?
No, I don't mean that way. I mean like it's like.
Oh, okay.
It's not like your normal Riddler, like we saw in. No, this is you'll love it. It's like watching a thriller crime story.
Yeah.
But instead of there being a cop, it's Batman, which Batman was a detective. He was like, that's what he did. He was like a real true detective, in the early stages of his Batman career.
Right.
I'm a big Batman buff, so I love this shit. But what a great movie.
Yeah, I gotta check it out. I liked The Last Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
Did you see that, Johnny?
Oh yeah.
I thought Joaquin Phoenix was amazing.
Dark, right?
Shit.
So director.
Yes.
The director did this.
So I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm just probably gonna wait till it comes on H. I think it goes on.
Really?
I don't know, dude. 3 hours? That's a long ass.
You can
movie,
do it.
bro.
You can do it.
I couldn't pay my wife enough to go to a movie for 3 hours.
I definitely want to see it because the last good Batman I love with Bane, like the one with Tom Hardy. That was great.
This is different.
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna go. 3 hours is 3 hours. My ass doesn't know that it's a great movie.
You got new movie theaters now.
Yeah, I know.
You
it's
can get
true.
Food and all that.
Little
kind of
urinals
stuff,
on the side too.
You get drinks. It's unbelievable. Do you remember when we were kids? They used to have an intermission with long ass movies.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they used to have all of a sudden intermission, and you'd fucking you'd go get your popcorn or whatever, take a leak. Now
what else?
Now you just got to sit there.
There was nothing else exotic out there to get. It was only popcorn.
Nah, that was it. All right, gentlemen. I really appreciate you guys doing this. Really. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. I said it last time. You guys mean a lot to me because, I started this thing off as a fan, and I still am. And you guys are the guys that, I looked up to and admired. Jason Arntz is from, I grew up not far from him, maybe an hour away. And Johnnie Jackson, are you kidding? Watching those videos with you and Branch always motivated me to get to the gym and so on and so forth. So I really, really appreciate this, dude. This is almost like if I can get paid to do this shit, like if YouTube starts paying me like this, I'll be literally living the dream.
There you go. It's right around the corner.
Yeah, I hope so. Oh, are you kidding? And I'll figure out the next one. I don't know what the next one is, but I'll figure it out.
All right.
It'll be good. It's an honor, John, for sure.
Thank you very much, fellas. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Yep. Hey, good to see you, Jay.
No, you too. I'll see you soon.
All right, man.